7 days of nonstop rain. No roof that doesn't leak. No light. No way out. For your ancestors, this wasn't a disaster. It was just Tuesday. Picture a gray sky that refuses to clear, water finding every gap in a hide roof. A family pressed together with nowhere else to go. For most of human history, weather wasn't a forecast. It was something you had to survive day after soak day. The story starts underground or close to it. In Sibutu Cave, South Africa, archaeologist Lynn Wadley uncovered layers of ancient bedding, packed sedge and rush plants, some woven with insect-repelling leaves. Dating methods placed this bedding at over 70,000 years old. This wasn't scattered debris. It was engineered comfort, built for long stretches spent indoors. But shelter alone couldn't fill a week. A week of rain threatened everything. Food would rot, fires would drown, and idle hands would turn into conflict. Fire came first because fire anchored everything else. Keeping a flame alive through days of humidity meant constant tending. Someone always awake, always feeding it, always shielding it from the drip finding its way through the roof. At Wonderwork Cave, also in South Africa, burned bone and ash dated to roughly 1 million years old stand among the earliest evidence of fire controlled inside a shelter. A cave like that wasn't just a hiding place. It was a fire station defended against the weather itself. Hunting was impossible in a downpour that turned every trail to mud. So people ate ahead of the storm. Anthropologist Richard Lee's studies of the Jew/Hoansi in the Kalahari describe deliberate food storage. Dried meat set aside specifically for the days when hunting simply couldn't happen. Now picture the shelter itself. Rain drumming on a woven roof, smoke curling under a low ceiling, someone turning a spear shaft slowly by firelight, checking it for straightness. A child sleeps against a parent on a bed of dried leaves. An older woman repeats a story the whole group has heard 100 times, and everyone listens anyway. Because idle time was dangerous. Days trapped together in a few square meters could curdle into resentment and rivalry if nothing filled the silence. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner found that among the Jew/Hoansi, daytime talk centers on complaints and conflict, while night and shelter-bound talk shifts toward story, myth, and humor. Weather likely forced that shift earlier and made it last. Here is the twist. You'd expect these rainy weeks to be wasted time. The evidence suggests almost the opposite. At Ohalo 2 in Israel, archaeologist Danny Nadel uncovered brush hut structures nearly 23,000 years old, dense with tools, seeds, and signs of prolonged indoor work. These weren't just shelters people endured. They were workshops. Some of the earliest evidence of complex tool-making, basketry, and twisted plant fiber cordage comes from exactly these enclosed, weather-bound settings. Being forced inside forced innovation. The storm didn't just keep people alive. It built the next tool they'd carry into the sun. That restlessness never left us. Every time weather or circumstance traps you indoors, some part of your brain still runs the same ancient program, searching for something to fix, build, or talk about. Even the heaviness is inherited. Research on seasonal mood, including work by psychiatrist Norman Rosenthal, links extended low light and isolation to real dips in mood. Your ancestors likely felt some version of that same weight, without a name for it, so they built rituals and stories to fight it instead. And when the rain finally broke, evidence from rock shelter sites shows a sudden burst of activity. Fresh tool debris, hunting parties heading back out, cleared living spaces. The week of rain was never dead time. It was preparation, compressed and released the instant the sky cleared. 7 days of rain wasn't a pause in ancient life. It was where a surprising amount of it was quietly invented.